Muhammad Ali was a global hero who transformed activism and sports culture in addition to being a boxing legend. However, behind his fame lay a tumultuous personal life that left his 9 children to bear the burden of his legacy today. Many of Ali's offspring are going through devastating hardships at a time when they should be honoring their father's influence. Some struggle with financial devastation, some lead obscure lives, and some have talked about feeling abandoned by the man the world loved. Muhammad Ali Jr., his only son, has experienced homelessness. Even those who succeeded at 44 still bear severe mental scars because others were excluded from his enormous fortune, which led to resentful family conflicts. The awful reality of Muhammad Ali's children living in the shadow of the greatest but most difficult battles he could never have imagined is that Ali is still plagued by expectations she never asked for. As the daughter of the world's most well-known athlete, Miam Ali Muhammad Ali was born in 1968. Growing up under her father's shadow was both a blessing and a burden, but Ali was also viewed as an unstoppable force in the ring. Unlike her father, Miam witnessed a father who was frequently away due to his activism for his career and the demands of fame. Miam was drawn to music and the arts and never pursued a career in sports. In an effort to separate herself from boxing in the 1990s, she turned to rapping and released an album under the name May May. However, the music industry was unforgiving, and her career never took off. Determined to change things her own way, she turned to writing and publishing a children's book about her father in the hopes of motivating young people, but no matter what she did, she was always referred to as Muhammad Ali's daughter who was first grappling with the burden of her father's legacy. Miam later turned her attention to social work and spent her entire life dealing with at-risk adolescents in inner cities to prevent gangs. Despite her career success, she volunteered to enter a prison for 60 days as part of a reality series because she was passionate about assisting underprivileged areas and wanted to learn more about the hardships of prisoners. Miam has been candid about the challenges of being Ali's daughter. Although she loved her father, she realized she had to share him with the world. As Ali's health deteriorated due to Parkinson's disease, she wished for more of his presence while watching others celebrate his victories. One of the kids who watched her once wonderful father pass away was Miam. His death in 2016 was tragic, signaling the end of an era but also leaving behind a broken family that is still fighting to stay together. Miam is still dedicated to her work in social justice, but she still struggles with the fact that she will always be associated with a man larger than life while she forges her own path. She has never really been freed from the weight of being Muhammad Ali's daughter. Jamila and Rashida Ali, although their father was adored by millions, Muhammad Ali's twin daughters were born into a life of privilege, but with that came the immense pressure of carrying the name of the greatest boxer of all time. Their childhood was anything but normal because Ali was always in the spotlight, and even though they loved him dearly, his larger-than-life persona frequently meant that his family came second to his activism and career. One of Ali's most outspoken offspring, Rashida, decided to carry on her father's legacy by supporting Parkinson's disease. The illness that gradually weakened him, she became one of his main voices advocating for medical research outside of advocacy. She married businessman Robert Walsh, had 2 sons, and one of them, Nico Ali Walsh, followed in his grandfather's footsteps by entering the boxing ring as a professional fighter. Rashida supported her son's decision, but it was an emotional struggle because she had witnessed what boxing did to her father, how it broke his body, stole his voice, and left him fighting disease in his later years. Watching Nico fight brought pride but also fear as history seemed to be repeating itself. Jamila, on the other hand, took a more private route, concentrating on humanitarian work and philanthropy. Unlike some of her siblings, she never pursued fame or recognition, preferring a quiet life full of purpose. Nevertheless, she struggled with the emotional weight of witnessing her father's health decline. It was heartbreaking to see the once powerful Muhammad Ali reduced to a shadow of himself, and it greatly influenced her desire to help those in need. Despite their efforts to preserve his memory, the Ali family has experienced its fair share of hardships. Although both sisters still pay tribute to their father's legacy in various ways, his death in 2016 left a void in their lives. Broken relationships. Being Muhammad Ali's daughters, Rashida and Jamila faced financial difficulties as well as the realities of living in the shadow of an icon. Being connected to greatness came with expectations and sacrifices that lasted a lifetime. The only biological son of the legendary boxer, Muhammad Ali Jr., was born in 1972 to Muhammad Ali and his second wife, Belinda Boyd Keela Ali. Although he was raised with the burden of being the son of the greatest boxer of all time, Ali Jr. experienced feelings of abandonment and neglect. His relationship with his father was distant because, in contrast to some of his siblings who managed to create their own success, Muhammad Ali spent a large portion of his life traveling, training, and participating in activism. Ali Jr. was never able to escape his father's shadow. After Muhammad Ali's death in 2016, reports surfaced that Ali Jr. was living in poverty and working at low-paying jobs. He claimed that he had been excluded from his father's inheritance and received little to no financial support from the Ali estate despite the fortune Muhammad Ali amassed over his career. Ali Jr. has struggled financially for the majority of his adult life. In sharp contrast to the opulent lifestyle traditionally connected with the Ali name, Ali Jr. found himself unable to pay for basic requirements and at one time was reportedly homeless, hopping between friends' homes and shelters. Beyond monetary difficulties, Ali Jr. has also struggled with emotional trauma and substance abuse. Even after his father's passing, Ali Jr. struggled with his identity and purpose, and his attempts to rebuild his life were challenging with little support from his family, while some of his siblings, like Rashida and Leah, found ways to embrace their father's legacy. He has openly discussed his resentment toward his father, feeling like an outsider within his own family. He claimed that although his father was loved by millions, he never felt the same level of love and attention from him personally. Ali Jr. has continued to be marginalized and cut off from both the boxing community and the greater Ali brand. Despite bearing his father's name, his narrative serves as a terrible reminder that even legends' offspring can experience adversity. Ali Jr. has battled conflicts outside of the ring his whole life, leaving him in quest of stability, acceptance, and a sense of belonging. Miam Ali's quest for acceptance has characterized her life. It started when she was born as the daughter of Muhammad Ali and Patricia Harville, who had an affair. While Ali was hailed as a global icon, Mia did not receive the same degree of public recognition as others of her half-siblings. Mia fought for her position in his life for a large portion of her youth. She heard the name Muhammad Ali used with respect growing up, but to her it was a name associated with a father she hardly ever saw. One of the most defining moments of Mia's early life came when classmates and even teachers doubted that she was truly Muhammad Ali's daughter. As a child, she faced cruel taunts from peers who refused to believe her claims. The emotional toll was heavy. While other children were praised for their famous father, she had to constantly prove her identity. Eventually her pain reached Ali himself, and in a dramatic moment he decided to personally visit her school. In front of her classmates he confirmed that she was indeed his daughter. It was an extraordinary gesture, but it also highlighted how different her experience was compared to her more publicly recognized siblings. Despite the struggle for validation, Mia remained determined to connect with her father. Unlike some of Ali's other children, she was not raised in the spotlight and her interactions with him were limited. However, as she grew older, she actively sought to build a relationship with him. She eventually